What is OCD? What if the most terrifying thing in your life wasn't a snake or speaking in public, but rather a terrible thought that popped into your mind? What if this terrible thought convinced you that if you didn't wash each of your hands exactly 5 times, starting with your right hand, you'd be infected with a deadly disease? And what if, after a minute of relief, as soon as you touch the bathroom doorknob, the thought reappears and you find yourself washing your hands again and again and again? And what if, no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't get this terrible thought out of your head? Hello, and welcome to MedTouch, the best place to find the right medical information. It's not uncommon for strange or bizarre thoughts to pop into your mind from time to time, and it's not abnormal to have your own unique habits or rituals that you follow each day. But if you often feel overwhelmed or anxious when something isn't done right, or if you find yourself constantly fighting irrational or unwanted thoughts or urges, then you may be suffering from an anxiety disorder known as obsessive compulsive disorder, commonly referred to as OCD. As the name suggests, OCD is characterized by uncontrollable, unwanted obsessions and repetitive compulsions or rituals. Obsessions are intrusive and irrational thoughts, images, or urges that cause significant distress. For example, thoughts that convince you that if you step on a crack on the sidewalk, your best friend is going to die. Compulsions, on the other hand, are repetitive behaviors or mental acts performed to reduce distress or to prevent a dreaded outcome associated with your obsession. For example, you avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks or stop going out altogether to save your friend from dying. There are many variations of obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors. However, generally OCD symptoms fall into 5 main themes or categories. Checking, an obsession to check things repeatedly or perform routines to prevent damage or harm to yourself or others. Contamination and mental contamination, persistent worry and fear about germs and sickness. Symmetry and ordering, obsessing over things being symmetrical or being precisely aligned in a certain way. Ruminations and intrusive thoughts, thoughts or images which are often sexual or violent in nature. And lastly, hoarding, an extreme fear of throwing something away or the need to collect a certain number of items in order to prevent harm to yourself or others. Now let's clarify one more time. We may all have some of these thoughts and engage in some of these behaviors from time to time, such as driving back home because you think you've left your hair curler on and it's going to burn down your house. That on its own is not OCD. To be diagnosed with OCD, obsessions and compulsions need to be time-consuming, taking up at least 1 hour of the day, cause significant distress, and get in the way of important daily activities such as work, school, or spending time with friends and family. The frequency and severity of obsessions and compulsions can vary across individuals. Some people have mild to moderate symptoms, spending 1 to 3 hours per day obsessing or performing compulsive rituals, whereas others may experience constant intrusive thoughts or compulsions that take up the majority of their day-to-day lives. So what causes OCD? Well, the short answer is we don't quite know just yet. However, research efforts continue to uncover more and more about this condition. We have some pretty solid clues. For instance, it appears that OCD may be linked to differences in brain chemistry. In particular, researchers have discovered that individuals with OCD have irregular levels of serotonin, the chemical that transmits messages between brain cells. Other factors that are likely to play a role include genetics, social factors, and psychological factors. Generally, a combination of these factors makes OCD a highly complex mental disorder, and without proper treatment and support, OCD will continue to worsen over time and spiral into a vicious chronic cycle. This is because once OCD develops, it's constantly reinforced through a positive feedback loop, and over time, additional thoughts and compulsion are added to its complexity. For example, an intrusive obsessive thought, such as having to line your shoes in a certain way in the closet according to color, otherwise you'll die in a car accident, can cause a lot of anxiety. So you try to get rid of that anxiety through a compulsion by arranging shoes in a line according to the desired color code, which provides a short-term relief and may even put a smile on your face. But then the thought returns again, and this time you need to sort and tap each shoes twice to prevent the accident from happening. This is how the vicious cycle of OCD develops, impairs functioning, and keeps going. Obsessive thought, which leads to anxiety, then compulsion, to temporary relief, and back to an obsessive thought, and repeat. The good news is there are many different treatment approaches, including the medication and psychological interventions that can help to break the cycle of OCD and greatly improve an individual's quality of life. Be sure to speak with your doctor and health professional about the best available option for you. If you'd like more helpful information about OCD, be sure to stay tuned for our upcoming video, 8 Tips for Managing OCD. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, leave us a comment, and turn on that notification bell so we can stay in touch.